Hello and welcome, everyone. A big thank you to our good friend, Dr. Bryan K. Williams, joining us today. Bryan has been a huge supporter of iSpa and worked with us to customize his renowned manager skills workshop into an online course for our iSpa community. This course is going to be available to our iSpa members on our new platform, our iLearn, at a special rate. So we're super excited about that. For those of you who have not had a chance to explore iLearn, simply go to experienceispa.com, click the resource tab, and select iLearn to get started. It's our new online learning platform, and it has so much educational sessions, all the town halls, and we update it each month with new content. Bryan, my good friend, let's jump right in and talk about how we can highlight this wonderful new resource. What can our members look forward to as main takeaways when they participate in this course?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate you. And your smile alone lights up the entire room, even if it's a virtual room or an in-person room.
Thank you.
For the manager skills workshop, the main takeaways really is understanding what it means to manage others. What does it mean to lift others up? What does it mean to effectively communicate? How to effectively motivate? How to effectively team build? Unfortunately, particularly in our spa industry, a lot of individuals are just kind of thrown into a leadership type role without adequate preparation. Like, you are an amazing massage therapist, you're an amazing esthetician. Therefore, you should automatically, by osmosis, be a great supervisor, a great manager. And you and I know it does not work that way. A lot of people they feel disenfranchised and they don't think that they're effective. And a lot of times just because they weren't set up for success. So the biggest question we're going to be answering in the 8 modules of the new manager skills workshop that'll be available on iLearn. The question every manager ought to ask themselves is, how can I help you be at your best? That's the theme. That's the question you should be asking yourself as a manager every single day. Not, I think a lot of times we ask the wrong questions. How can I help you do your job? How can I help you be on time? How can I help you not be mediocre? How can I help you be nice? How can I help you not have an attitude? How can I help you be a better teammate? Those questions they don't align with high performance and world-class cultures. How can I help you be at your best?
I You've got me. You've already hooked me. We don't even need to go into the rest of the questions. But let's talk about, you just mentioned there's 8 modules. So
Ooh,
tell us a little bit about what each module covers and kind of how it's structured.
absolutely. So we have 8 modules, right? The first module is called You as a Manager. In that one, we talk about understanding the key responsibilities in your role. So we talk about the responsibilities to your stakeholders, those who you report to, people who report to you, and people who you work alongside, your peers. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss all those pieces. We'll talk about managing up. We'll talk about what managing up, as you know, is just basically how to manage your manager, how to make sure that whatever you're asking for, whatever you're doing is in alignment with whatever their priorities are. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. We'll talk about tips to successfully move from a coworker to a manager, which is an entire spill, because a lot of people, they feel awkward going from being a coworker to now I'm managing you. That's you as a manager. Module 2 is on leadership. Key word is lead. The word lead means that you're going somewhere and someone's following. If no one's following you, then you're just taking a walk. People got to be following you to see you're leading anybody. So in the leadership module, we'll start with talking about the power of expectations. Kelly, you and I know that the performance you see on your team is a direct reflection of your consistently communicated expectations. Not just your expectations, but your consistently communicated expectations. If I say something to you one time, or once a year in the general session, or one time when you just get hired, and you don't do it, I have to blame myself because you only heard it once. If I expect you to do something every day, I got to talk about it every day. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the key leadership styles, 4 main styles of leadership. Everybody has a dominant one, but we'll talk about which one is most appropriate given the situation. Whether you should be more autocratic versus more democratic versus more bureaucratic versus more laissez-faire. Module 3 will cover delegation. Particularly in our spot in the hospitality industry, we're successful initially because we're super individual contributors, right? We're amazing at what we do. But when you move into the role of a manager, now you're not just being judged on what you do, you're being judged on how well you help everybody else do their jobs, how well the team performs, whether that's revenue, profitability, guest engagement, employee engagement, market share, etc. So to do that, you have to delegate. Otherwise, you'll be burnt out. You'll be working 8 days a week. There's not even an eighth day. You'll be working on February 30th. That's not even a day. And it's nothing cool or fun or hip or nothing to brag about being burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
People do that. Like they like it's a badge of honor. Nah, because you know what happens when you don't learn to delegate, Kelly? Here's what happens. You and I know this personally. When you don't learn to delegate, the people who should be getting the best of you, like your family, people who should be getting the best of you, they get the rest of you. And now there's resentment. Huh? Sorry?
Not much. They don't get much, right?
They get the leftovers, they get the dregs of you, they get the fumes of you. And when you're doing that, you feel bad. They feel bad. Nothing. Then you don't bring your best self to work. So in delegation, we'll cover the 7 steps of delegation. To get the 7 steps, you gotta log into the course. But basically, you gotta plan it out. Who should be doing it? What should be involved? How will you be able to support? We cover all that. Module 4. Now I know in the spa world, there's never any drama. Like there's no employees, no team members who have, I know, especially where you work, Kelly, there's no drama anywhere.
We have a rule. We say, don't let your drama llama follow you to work.
That's what I'm saying. So in the very off chance where maybe once a year, the drama llama does follow you to work, Module 4, we should just rename Module 4 to Don't Let the Drama Llama Follow You to Work. We should just call it Drama Llama. And it's handling problems and conflict. That's module 4. And that's what we cover: understanding where workplace problems come from, how to resolve employee conflict, tips to identify, strategies to manage, say, difficult people better, right? Because we all have them. We all have people who but they're part of the team. And I don't believe you should not have anyone on your team who you don't believe in. If somebody's on your team and you don't believe in them, then they won't be at their best, which is the key question. Module 5, successful meetings. Now, I don't know anyone who wants to have more meetings. Although I will tell you that there are a few of my clients who they love meetings. They love meetings to plan meetings. Then they have a meeting to talk about the meeting because they all want to talk through and touch base. But we just touched base like yesterday. Like there's nothing changed, right? But your meetings are your primary way of communicating things to your team, right? So how can you make sure that as a team leader, you're setting up your meetings right? Who should be there? How long should it be? What's the purpose of the meeting? What are the expected outcomes of the meeting? What are the key responsibilities and next steps of the meeting? Those things should be thought out before you even plan a meeting. There should always be an agenda. Go on. We're going to dive into that, Kelly, on Module 5. Module 6 is on effective communication. Most of us in school, whether it was in grade school or in college, we have classes on how to send communication, how to speak, how to write, right? We do how to do, but do we have listening classes? I took a listening class one time, my senior year in high school, second semester, and I took it by accident. I thought I signed up for another course, but it was that. But the best thing I did. Most communication is about what's being heard. Listening, active listening. We'll talk about the ratio of how much of communication is the words you use versus how you say the words versus your body language. A lot of managers who are very competent, they fail because they don't communicate well. If you're being honest, if we were to poll all of our ISPA members and ask what's the biggest source of conflict or morale issues in your organization, I can almost promise you communication is at the top of the list.
Always.
Yeah, so module 6 is on communication. We talk about roadblocks, effective communication, best practices for active listening, and so on. Just so you know, I didn't say this, but every single module has worksheets and has some kind of activity or something for you to do. Because the idea is that learning is not really learning unless there's an application in your life. professionally and or personally. Ideally, it's both. That's when the learning is really good. But if it's just you just sitting there like watching the manager skills workshop, watching me in the videos, and just like it's a TV, like you're eating your popcorn, like, I wonder what you're gonna say next. That's not learning. It's not supposed to be. It's not entertainment. Now, clearly, it'll be interesting, right?
And always entertaining.
Because if you're Kelly, if you're laughing, you're listening, and if you're listening, you're learning. So there's a sequence to this thing, right? So we're gonna make sure that you're learning. So there's worksheets. Now, module 7, module 7 is motivation and team building. Now, I'll tell you something. In motivation and team building, honestly, people come to work motivated. If you look at any new team member, where you work, where I work, where any of the spas, if you look at any new team member, they come to work and they're excited. It's a new job. They're motivated. They read the employee handbook like it's a riveting novel. Then they get a tattoo of the company's logo on their ankle. They love where they work. And then subsequently become demotivated. So a big part of our jobs, Kelly, is to keep motivated people motivated. Do everything humanly possible to not demotivate a motivated person. We're going to cover that in this module. We'll talk about identifying and prioritizing what motivates people, because the things that motivate you are different than what motivates me. The things that motivate Alexandra are different than what motivates Lynn McNeese, although everything motivates Lynn. We know that. Right? The thing that motivates Patrick Huey is different than what motivates. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand the motivators per person on our teams. And the last module, the penultimate module, is on module 8. Really, if the main question is how can I help you be at your best, then module 8 pulls it all together. It's called improving employee performance. So in that, we'll cover performance improvement techniques, coaching, feedback, all that. And then we cover primary causes of low performance. When somebody doesn't do their job well, why? We show statistics and all of it. And then we'll do a final case study to pull everything together. We'll give you a scenario, and you'll pull from all the various modules and your learnings to apply to this specific situation. So that's the Management Skills Workshop with the 8 modules in a nutshell.
Again, sign me up. I can't wait to sign my entire team up, my leadership team. So you just sort of led into this, but how do you think that this course is going to help managers tackle those unique situations? Because we know in spa, hospitality, wellness, I say every day, this can't be normal, right? With like every challenge, every day is a new day. And so how are these going to have the tools to say you can tackle these unique challenges?
100%. So for example, like in the delegation module, there's a template that my team and I put together to walk you through the steps in planning your delegation. In the meetings, in the successful meetings module, there's a template where you fill out when you're thinking about planning a meeting. Here are the things to consider. Literally fill it out. For the active, we talk about effective communication with active listening. Let's rate yourself on effective listening behaviors you currently have versus the ineffective listening behavior. Do you cut people off? Are you fidgeting with things? Are you looking like checking something else? Are you finishing their sentences for them? Right. So these are all worksheets and checklists designed for self-reflection. But the idea really is to apply it. When I try not to ever create any material that you can't directly see how to use it today.
Well, that goes into my next question. I was going to say, you're giving everyone tools, which is amazing because we all need that, right? No matter whether you're in first year of your career or I don't even want to say how long, going on 30. I started when I was 10, but so when can they start applying these tools? How soon?
Today, immediately. Matter of fact, at the end of each module, right? At the end of each module, I say, hey, here's something for you to start doing today. Actually, say, start doing this today. Or obviously, everyone is on a different part in their journey. Even though this course was really, it was designed for emerging leaders. That's what it's designed for, right? So people who are the first 2 or 3 years in their managerial leadership journey. But honestly, in all the years we've been doing this course in person and even online, I would say about 70% have not been emerging leaders. They've been everything from like you, from senior executives to owners of companies to first-time supervisors and everything in between. But the idea is that you take the material and you use it that day. If not, your mind is saying this must not be serious because your mind perceives things to be serious, what you take action on immediately. If you say, I'll start tomorrow, then you're basically saying that it's not important. If it's not important, you won't do it consistently. You don't do it consistently, there will not be a behavioral change. And that's what we're after, behavioral change.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I think too it's a good reminder for those of us who have been in the industry for a really long time. You lose some of those skills or because you're in the grind for so long and you're like, "Wait a minute." So sometimes it's even just a good reminder to be like, "Oh, I knew that.
Yeah.
Why have I not been doing this?" Right?
Woman.
So as we look at that and we look at people who, but yes, I've been doing this for a very long time, but we have a lot of a whole crop of newbies, which we love in our industry. So, are there any specific skills or background knowledge that they should have before jumping into this course?
The biggest, I don't want to use the word skill, but the biggest thing I want to say in this, to answer your question, Kelly, is come hungry.
Mm.
Come hungry to learn. Don't come in thinking like, well, I know it all. Just look at you. You mentioned, oh, I've been doing this before you were born. Oh, this is I've worked in 10 different spas. I've done this, I've done that. Then this is not for you. You come hungry. Come expecting to learn something. I think because it's really hard to feed someone who's not hungry.
Yeah.
If you have a baby and you try to feed a baby food and the baby's not hungry, the food goes everywhere else except in their mouth. And it's frustrating to both the person feeding and the baby. It's worse with adults. We try to feed, and I don't mean food. I'm talking about like that's an analogy, like this course,
Knowledge,
like
right?
education, right? Education, like you try to give them something like the prerequisite for this is come with an open mind, and honestly, if you do it right, an open heart. Come
Yeah.
with an open heart, mind, and an open heart, expecting to like what you said. Either you're gonna learn something, or it's gonna be a good reminder to kind of pull you back in alignment and say, all right, these are the fundamentals that I've been missing. This is back to the basics that I've been needing, so I can be even more effective.
I love that. I think there's so many people out there. If you don't think that you can't keep learning, think again, right? There's always something new to learn. So tell me, what would you say to a manager who thinks they're on the fence, they might sign up, or they're thinking about enrolling a staff member? Why? Why would they do it?
Why? The first one that comes to mind is investment.
Mm.
And no one invests money or time without expecting a return, right?
Mhm.
So if let's say Kelly, you on my team, and I'm considering signing you up for this program, first of all, come and talk to you, make sure that you are in fact hungry, right? But I would see potential in you, and I would say I want to put you in this so that you can be better than you are currently, better than you are currently. And this can even be for high performers. So if you look at an Olympic gold medalist or a high performing team, you'll find that they tend to be the ones hungriest to learn even more. The ones who are currently the champ, if you study any champions in any field, in any industry, athletics or not, on the spa, the Forbes five-star hotels and spas, many of whom are my clients, right? They're the ones who are hungriest to get better. And that's how they get better. That's how they stay the best because they never stop learning. They never stop improving. That's what I would think of. I would think of view yourself or view someone on your team and look at the potential. Look at their potential and look at maybe with the right mix of investment and time in that person. Wow, look at where they can be. I am a product. You, Kelly, are a product of other people seeing
Mhm.
potential in us and investing in us, despite our behavior at times.
Well, that's a whole nother topic.
That's another webinar.
I agree. I agree. Somebody saw something in us and you see those employees now and you're like, how do I help get them to that next level? I think
Come
this is
on.
a great step for that. So, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that I want to say it was Toni Morrison, the late Toni Morrison, phenomenal woman, right? Toni Morrison said one of the the most important responsibilities of a leader is that when you have power, help give power to someone else. When you have power, your job is to help give power to someone, which means to empower. That's what the word empower means. So when you are up, your job is to help pull others up. It would be immoral and unethical for people like you, Kelly, or myself to not intentionally look for ways to pull others up. Me writing this course, the Manager Skills Workshop, is one of the ways I'm looking to help pull others up. Because these are things that I may not have, I was not taught all these things. I learned a lot of this through trial and error, through falling in potholes. I'm like, oh my gosh. So if I fell in a pothole and I came out, I'm thinking the way I'm wired, I'm thinking, how can I help other people not fall in the same pothole that's completely avoidable? Anyway.
Yes, yes. So when we talk to our members, how much time should they plan to dedicate to this course to get the most out of it? I know it's in modules, but can they go at their own pace? Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. You go at your own pace. It's all asynchronous. So you can start, stop when you need to. But really, if you go through a module, I would say 20 minutes to 30 minutes. So each module is broken up into several micro videos. A micro video would be anything from, let's say, 2 to 5 minutes. 5 minutes on the extreme end, but most of the videos are like, let's say 2-3 minutes ish. So it's meant for you to so each module is broken down like that. So it's meant for you to take a bite, really reflect on it. I'm gonna give you something to do, and then go back, reflect on it. Don't binge watch this. Not like a Netflix show, right? You're not gonna binge watch this. It's meant for you to really go through. So 30 minutes. I would say 30 minutes ideally. So if you go through all 8 modules, then what? What's that like? Maybe
4 hours?
For a half a day. If you do all of it at once, but I don't want you to do it all at once. I want you, ideally, if you listen to me, take off my glasses. Listen to me, everybody watching this on social media and wherever you listen to this is important. Take the time. I would say do a module a week. That'd be perfect. If you take as a manager and I'm mentoring young managers or high potential staff, high potential therapists, estheticians, nail techs, hairstylists and whatnot, I would take a week. I'd take one module. Y'all do the module, watch the module, discuss the module, talk about reflection in the module. Again, there are worksheets, there's activities to do, and then go back. So in a perfect scenario, you'll go through in 8 weeks. In a perfect scenario, right?
For me, this is perfect because we as operators are so busy to sit down and do a 4-hour class in one day. It's impossible. You know how many times I'd be interrupted? But 30 minutes for my team to say, this is your time for 30 minutes, that's a good nugget of time, and they're going to retain better.
Yes. Rewatch the video. The I Learn platform is perfect. You can rewatch the video as often as you'll get sick of me by the end of it, but that's okay. My feelings will not be hurt. Right? Watch the videos. We took a lot. We created these videos with focus, with intention, with love. Really, we created these videos with love. Hopefully, you'll be able to feel the love coming through. But yeah, take your time and watch the videos. We'll digest each nugget, discuss the nuggets, really go back and forth, assess yourself. We can be really good at looking at other people and saying, here's what you need. Oh, yeah, you watch this video again. No. Talk about you. Look at yourself as well.
Inward reflection. That's a whole nother topic too, Bryan.
Another weapon altogether.
All right, we are just about out of time. Are there any other highlights of this course that you think that would really, I mean, you've already hooked us, but give me one more nugget that you think you'd like to mention.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I would say there's power in believing in someone. There's power in believing in someone. You may be the first leader who's ever believed in that person, like really believed in them. And you can measure your belief by the expectations you have of that person. So you may have somebody in your spa right now, in your organization right now, who's never had an adult really had high expectations of them. You may be the first person, right? So giving them this opportunity, this investment to go through the Manager Skills Workshop, can speak volumes to that person because they may have never had anybody really invest in them like that. Right. And I guess my guarantee is that no one will leave the course worse. they'll be
That's
better.
a good guarantee. That's a
They'll
good
be
one.
better. If you have like, oh my, I'm a worse manager now. Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. But that's not going to happen. We're going to claim that right now. But there'll be success. We look forward to receiving the success stories, right? The success stories of oh my, because I get them all the time in terms of I use this and I always use it now when I'm doing my one-on-one meetings, when I'm planning delegation. I know now before I used to use this one leadership style for every situation. Now I can better adapt my style given the situation, given the person I'm dealing with. Because different people, if I try to be too hands off with a brand new employee who needs more of a hands on, doesn't work. If I try to be micromanaging and be more deal with a person who's high performing, it doesn't work. So think about that. Think about believing in people. That's really what it comes down to. It's not about this course not meant to fix people. Yeah, you go to the class because you attend the manager skills workshop on the I Learn because you need to be fixed. It's I'm saying it because I want to develop. I want to invest in your development because I believe in you and I see your potential.
Oh, I love that. Okay, we're all going to come hungry. I got it.
Yeah,
I love it.
be hungry.
Bryan, thank you so much for taking the time to share about this upcoming course. I'm confident it's going to be an incredible asset to our members. Your skills workshop, Bryan, will be available on iLearn starting this Thursday, the 30th, which I cannot believe is the end of the month already. And
I know.
iSpa members can take an exclusive discounted rate of just $235, which we know we're so grateful for your generosity that this course is well valued beyond that. I can't wait to send my team. I just already know there's areas I can't wait to go to keep growing and learning as well. So do not miss this fantastic opportunity. Be sure to enroll and make the most of this resource. Bryan, thank you. Thank you. Such a pleasure as always. Everyone, have a great rest of your day.